Hello, hello, and welcome back. This is part 2 of 3 of my experience being signed to a label. Now, if you have not watched part 1 yet, pause this video and check the link out in the description below so you can watch the first part. First things first, I will not be naming the name of the label that I was dealing with, because that is not the point of this video. I am here to talk about my experience, not to blast anyone. To talk about how I got signed to the label, we have to rewind to September of 2022. I just released my first song, Swimming, September 15 of 2022. And I must say, I was super, super proud of myself. It was my first ever released song, and I produced the song all by myself. It was a labor of love. I was just very happy. So, for any fellow artists out there, you know, part of the entire marketing plan of a release is to pitch to people, to playlists, all of that fun stuff. I ended up finding a website called Fluence.io, which RIP is no longer with us anymore. It is very unfortunate, but I will say it was an excellent, excellent platform to pitch to people because these are legit people in the industry, not just playlists or whatever blogs from Submit Hub. These people were actual industry people. While on the platform, I did a lot of research into who I wanted to pitch to figure out who could potentially like my music and who would possibly promote it. One of the people I ended up pitching to randomly, I just threw their name in the bucket. I don't know why, but he was an A&R, and A&R stands for Artist and Repertoire. They are the people at a label who are responsible for scouting new talent and developing them as artists. Said A&R that I pitched to, we will call him B for boy. We're going to keep things very, very simple. He actually responded and said that his small label that he works at is signing artists and that he was interested in signing me. Immediately, I thought, is this a scam? Which is ridiculous because I am the one that pitched to him. I genuinely was so shocked. I was not expecting him to actually say that he was interested in signing me because it was literally my first song that I put out there, and maybe I had 300 or 400 followers on Instagram. I had nothing. So he was just wanting to go out on a limb for this one song that he heard, which I thought was crazy. But after, we jumped on a couple of video calls and he was very generous with his time. He answered all of my questions. He was so patient with me, just explained everything, his background. But also, I made sure, well, my friend and I made sure to do some recon and actually look him up online to make sure he's legit. Always, always do your research when it comes to people in the industry because there are so many shady characters out there. So just be careful. But after knowing that he's legit, after our video calls, I decided to sign. I ended up signing for the following reasons. A, I really liked B as a human. I just felt that he really cares about his artists and genuinely wants them to succeed. B, he had a lot of experience in the industry, and so I just felt safe knowing that I was under his guidance. C, he was super, super patient with me on our calls and answered all of my questions. D, I asked if I could reach out to one of his artists and get their feedback on working with him. And honestly, that artist pretty much said he's the reason B was the reason why he signed and why he was going to actually extend his contract. He just said only positive things about B, which really, really helped ease my mind and made it a no-brainer for me. But also E, I had nothing to lose as an artist who only released one song. I viewed this as an artist development deal, so if nothing, I just knew that I could learn and absorb a ton of information and just grow from this experience. After our chats and the deliberation and our back and forths, I said, let's just do this. Let us sign this baby. Now, let us get into the actual contract. The deal was for 10 songs in a year. If I was unable to deliver the 10 songs within a year, then the contract would extend until all of the 10 songs were delivered and released. So that could be in singles or EPs or albums. It didn't matter, just as long as there were 10 songs. Once the contract was fulfilled and the 10 songs were delivered, then I had the option of extending the contract if I wanted, but if not, then, I would have been able to just walk away with a clean break. Let's talk about masters. So the label would own 50% of my masters. And according to B, that was actually a really great deal because when he worked at one of the majors, it would be the label that owned 85% of the masters. And sometimes it's more depending on the deal, how much they invested in the artist. So in his eyes, 50% was pretty good. Also, in my mind, I was thinking 10 songs is not that much. So, whatever. I would hope that within my career, I would have way, 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 way more than 10 songs. So, 10 songs is a drop in the bucket, essentially. Also, what would constitute one song? I could have just made shitty 1-minute songs and called them a song and just delivered 10 of them to get out of my contract. So, whatever. In return of the 50% ownership, each of my releases would get about $2,000 in marketing and promo. And like I mentioned in my last video, my songs would be able to get mixed and mastered by the in-house team for free. So for each song, I generally spend about $500 to $600 getting it mixed and mastered. Multiply that by 10, I'd be saving about 5 to 6 grand, which is amazing, depending on how good or bad they are. Artwork and social media could be crafted with the in-house team, and then B also knew that I was interested in sync and getting my songs into film and TV. So he has a lot of connections in the industry. So that could have been an easy in for me as well. In my mind, the only con was that I would be giving up 50% of my masters, but I mean, it was only for 10 songs, and 50% is really not that big of a deal when you're getting all this additional support. I mean, I just wanted the support of B and developing myself as an artist. I saw this opportunity more so as an investment. And I really believed at the time that I would be getting a lot of support and mentorship. So to me, it was worth it. B approached me September of 2022, and he offered me the contract the next month. With all of the back and forth between our legal teams and blah, 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 the contract was finally signed and executed May of 2023. That took up 7 months. Then, only a few months later in August, a huge bombshell dropped on me. My world completely flipped upside down, and to say I was shooketh was an understatement. I immediately thought, how am I going to salvage this relationship? What do I do? But mostly, how can I get out of this contract? That was my main thing, was I need to get out of this. I will get into all of that in my next video, what transpired, and ultimately why I decided to leave the label in the end. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it. Also, subscribe to my channel so you can be the very first person to know what happens next. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.